Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto and welcome to your daily update here on XRP and Ripple. We have some news to talk about. We have a lot of technicals to talk about. I mean, the markets have been pretty crazy in the last, last 24 hours, but obviously last 3 weeks have already been incredibly bullish. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Yesterday, brief recap what we said earlier. I was quite bearish on XRP, but that was right here, the 6th of May, 7th of May, so Tuesday, Wednesday. Yesterday we had broken, or we had reclaimed this level right here at 2.17. So yesterday in the video, I revised the analysis, I revised the bias, and we said, it's most likely we're going to fill this imbalance. We had to the upside right here at 2.28, 2.26, and then potentially breakouts. Well, we filled the imbalance. Later, obviously, the market went quite parabolic. If you take a look at Bitcoin, I think most of you will have seen that as well. And we broke above that level. So right now, Ripple or XRP is just incredibly bullish. We have left some imbalances to the downside here. But in very bullish times, which I'll make the argument that we're in that. Not only in this video, but also in the altcoin video or altcoin updates I'll make later this morning. I'd say we are quite bullish, right? And if the market is quite bullish, imbalances like this do not always get filled. On the 12-hour time frame, the imbalances also look worse than they are. I mean, if you go to the 1-hour time frame here, you can see that there's some little fair value gaps. But very often the buyers and sellers actually agreed on all the breakouts and all the price action that we've seen. So that has caused a bullish breakout here above 2.28, the 0.382 fib. With the way of moving into, or the path of moving into 2.41, which is the POC, the point of control of the general range we've been in for the last half year already almost. Together with a previous imbalance. So that's our main target. I think it's most likely we're going to rally into that, but there are some subtleties that we need to talk about in this video. Before we do that, yesterday we received the news that the SEC and Ripple agreed on a $50 million fine, which is much lower than the $125 million in escrow. Which, by the way, they also gained yield on, all right? So they actually made quite a lot of money on that as well. I think it's been in that high yield account for like over a year. So that will have yielded about 2%, which is pretty good. So they made some free money on that as well. Have to pay $50 million. I would say that's relatively bullish. That might have an effect on the price. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But ultimately, what I still wonder about, and I couldn't actually find this morning the actual sources on this. Ripple also wanted to throw away the allegation of the SEC that the XRP sales to institutions were against the law, so they could potentially continue doing that. I'm not sure if that actually happens, but I think we'll find out a little bit later. But for now, it's good news, of course. I would say, look, XRP itself, this is all good news, and it might actually have an effect on the price a little bit down the line as well. So far, I'm not sure if it has. I think it has a minor effect on the price right now. But the price action we've seen from XRP right now is also in line with the markets. And one of the ways we can see that is XRP BTC. And XRP BTC, although it has bounced since yesterday when the Bitcoin dominance also started to decrease, it's still in a downtrend, right? So that would suggest that XRP specifically isn't that strong yet. So this is definitely a chart to keep your eyes on. I think this is a chart that needs to turn around. I think this needs to reverse if we actually want to see XRP move into our main price target right here between 2.61 and 2.75, which I definitely do think is a possibility. But all right, getting back to XRP. So we broke that level at 2.28, 2.26, pretty relevant level. We're going into the end of the week, beginning of the weekend, so we might see some de-risking. As long as we hold 2.25, I'd say we're good. All right, and I do think, given these market circumstances, it's most likely we'll hold that level, and I think the path is cleared for a move into 2.41, 2.48, which, like I said, if you zoom all the way out, is a very relevant level, as in that most of the volume has been transacted around that level at 2.41. And then afterwards, we'll start talking about getting that move into 2.61, 2.75. I think that's on the table. I would say that's most likely for a little bit more of the medium term, long term. But that depends a lot on the strength that XRP is able to find here. Right now, Momentum is going up nicely. If you take a look at the volume down here, pretty small, but here you can see volume and open interest. So therefore, short term, this is most likely. And then I'll keep you updated after we hit that 2.41, 2.45 level, how soon we can expect 2.61 and 2.75. And if we can still expect that, right? But those are my thoughts for now. I think that's what you need to know. If you do have any questions, let me know as well. But for now, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend in advance, and bye.